Hey everyone, good morning. Happy Monday. James Azar here with your Practitioner Brief today. We got a lot to get to. Before we get started though, you can get our Practitioner Brief on our website daily, cyberhubpodcast.com. Get it there. Sign up for our mailing list where you get our beautiful PDF with all the links, everything you need in order to keep up with our Practitioner Brief, including some stories that we don't talk about on our audio podcast that you could find directly in our Practitioner Brief. Again, cyberhubpodcast.com. So let's get right into today's Practitioner Brief, where we're kind of going to pick up on something we spoke about briefly last week, but a lot more details have come out over the weekend over the surprise Linux malware that the FBI and NSA issued over Russian military intelligence that's essentially designed to target Linux systems in the twist of cyber warfare. It was revealed that the malware that is being used for a Linux system called Revamped as part of their cyber espionage operation, the malware allows Russian state actors to steal files and take over devices. This also goes along the way with many others, including VPN filter and Microsoft's warning about the Internet of Things devices as well. There's still a dangerous assumption among many that the malware is only a problem for Windows. It's not. It can now target Linux systems, Mac-based devices. We knew this day was going to come sooner or later, but now that it's here, we have to pay just as much attention on all of our devices as compared to just maybe our Windows systems. None of this is to question the quality of the Linux inbuilt security, which many argue is stronger because of the open source nature of the code. The malware only works against relatively old versions of the Linux kernel. But Revamped is a reminder that hackers and malware writers are increasingly willing to target all systems if they think there's a profit or some other advantage, like creating chaos. A very eye-opening news story for our Monday morning. SANS, and to the folks over at SANS, first of all, thank you for doing what we're about to share. I think if more organizations did this, we'd be in a far better position. But SANS, being a leader in security education, experienced a security breach on August 11th, and have now released details of what led to the attack. And it all started with a phishing email that caused 513 emails to be forwarded to attackers. Some of the forwarded emails contained an approximately 28,000 records of PII for SANS members. SANS released the IOCs for the phishing attack so that other organizations can make sure they're not affected. In the initial attack started obviously with a phishing email pretending to be a file shared by a SANS SharePoint service. The file pretending to be shared was called copy of July bonus 24 Juliet Uniform Lima 2020, and it's an Excel file. And the email prompted the user to click on the open button to access the file. When clicked on, the button would open the default browser to a AWS subdomain website that would prompt the user to enter their Office 365 credentials. When doing so, a Microsoft Office Othon add-on named Enable for Excel would be installed, and while the site was no longer active, the recipients of this phishing scam had tested the site using the any.run and Joe Sandbox services, which gives us a small glimpse into the OAuth consent app being authorized to install. SANS states that once the malicious Office 365 app was installed, it would create a forwarding rule named anti-spam rule that monitored for specific keywords. We have that list available on our PDF. The full report is available also on our PDF. You can find it at cyberhubpodcast.com. IcedID malware has been revamped with avoidance capabilities. The banking Trojan has been updated with additional evasion techniques, including a password-protected attachment, keyword obfuscation. Sorry, it's Monday, right? I haven't had enough coffee yet. And dynamic link library file that acts as a second stage downloader to the malware, according to a report from the Junitor Threat Labs. You can see the report fully on our website at cyberhubpodcast.com, as well as in our PDF in your inbox. Once again, the effectiveness of some of the different ways that it's been done is yet to be determined. However, it has been revamped, and apparently this is a way for them to try to bypass some of the adjustments that some of our AV and EDR providers have made in order to fight this specific malware. Other stories you can find: a Texas man has been sentenced to 57 months in prison for a hack on a major tech firm. The U.S. disrupts 3 cyber-enabled terror campaigns. And the Ritz London suspects data breach. Fraudsters call the victims posing as being part of the Ritz staff in order to enable charges on their card. That's it for our practitioner brief here today, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be back with so much more tomorrow. And I'll drink more coffee so that we don't have some of those run-ins. Until then, folks, my name is James Azar. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, give us 5 stars, and share us with your friends, because that's how we grow, thanks to your word to mouth. Until tomorrow, folks, I'll be back with more. Until then, stay cyber safe.